Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Hello students, welcome to second PUC Business Studies online classes. Students, in the previous class we have studied about the brand, meaning of brand, branding, trademark, brand name, then merits of branding to customers and also to the marketers or the businessman, isn't it? Now let us move on to the next part, features of a good brand name. Features of a good brand name. That means a brand name, how it should be, how the brand name should be. For that, there are some that is defined features. So let us analyze one by one. First one is, it should be short and easy to pronounce. Short and easy to pronounce. Of course, if you keep a brand name which cannot be uttered at all, isn't it? How can you express it with your friends or with your family members or with some other person? Or how the housewife can inform her husband to bring this particular brand if the brand name is so confusing that it is not possible to utter it, isn't it? So the brand name should be very sweet and simple so that there will not be any confusion. The customer can easily tell that I want this brand, like Britannia, isn't it? If you keep like Dhritarashtra brand name, very difficult for the foreigners to pronounce, isn't it? Can they just pronounce? No, it is not possible for them. They will say, I don't know what is this, isn't it? They will speak like that. So that, for that reason, it should be very short. It should not be like a big sentence, isn't it? It should be very short and sweet. Parley, isn't it? Parley G. Like that. And easy to pronounce. There should not be any confusion for the customers to pronounce it. I saw someone, one of my friends went to Mantri Square. There was one restaurant inside, something Aube Pang, something. The spelling is in such a way that very difficult to pronounce. So if it is very sweet and short, then it will be easy for the customers to remember, to pronounce, to tell others, isn't it? So very easy. So keep the brand name as very short and sweet or easy to pronounce. Second one is, suggest product benefits. Suggest product benefits. Just by hearing the brand name itself, it should suggest some benefits of the product, so that the customer will easily remember, like Reliance Fresh, isn't it? Reliance Fresh. So by hearing the name itself, the people will come to know that it is all the vegetables that are kept are fresh. The items, fruits or anything sold is fresh. One customers in Bangalore, Reliance Fresh retail shop is there, isn't it? One of the customers went to Reliance Fresh shop, purchased mangoes without checking inside, took the entire box and went to home. After opening the box, some mangoes were rotten, they were not in good condition. So immediately the customer rushed to the Reliance Fresh shop, and the sales manager and everyone, there's an outlet in charge, they told it is not possible to exchange because it is a duty of the customer to inspect before leaving the counter. Then the customer told, see, I entered your shop just because it is Reliance Fresh. Fresh means I expected all the products in your shop as fresh, not rotten one. I never expected that you will fill rotten mangoes in a box and you will supply it. There were some arguments, but they didn't accept. So he wrote a letter to the managing director. When next time, when the managing director came to Bangalore, that MD specifically told the manager to call that customer, and when that customer came to the retail store, the MD himself has offered 3-4 boxes of mangoes, and he has expressed his concern, and also said sorry to the customer. See, this is how to maintain a long-standing customer. My point here is, when you give some name, then it should suggest some benefits. So fresh means the product should be very fresh. So that is what the brand name should be. Brand name should suggest product benefits. Then third one is distinctive. It should be distinctive from other brands, isn't it? Other brand names, so that the customer can easily identify your product in a specific way. Particularly, your product will be demanded because your brand name is distinctive one. It is not imitating others' brand. It is altogether a new one, so that the customer can remember very easily. He can identify your product very easily, isn't it? So it should be distinctive one, which will help the customer to identify your product, specifically your product, so that your sales may increase, your volume of sales may increase. Fourth one is adaptable to packing and labeling. Adaptable to packing and labeling. What do you mean by this? Packing and labeling. That means your brand name should be so short that it should accommodate on the wrapper of the product. If the product is very small, suppose medicine, isn't it? If you give a lengthy brand name, one sentence brand name, then is it possible for the manufacturer to accommodate the name of your brand on the package? Not possible. Biscuit packet, of course, they are a bit lengthy, isn't it? If it is a lengthy name, then it can be accommodated very easily. But if it is a small medicine, small bottle of maybe 10 ml or 25 ml, a small container will be there, isn't it? And you cannot prepare a lengthy and big, that is a voluminous box for that, because medicine is this much only. So what you have to do, you have to prepare a small carton for that. And if the brand name is very small, then it is very easy for the manufacturer to highlight your brand. Otherwise, it is not possible. So that is adaptable to packing and labeling. Next one is flexible, that is versatile to accommodate new products. It should be flexible enough. That is, when your brand name is affixed on the new products, then it is easy for the sellers to promote your product, because it is already accepted by the customers. So when you introduce new product, by hearing your brand name, already it is there in the market, customers know about your brand. When that brand is printed on the package, then customers will easily identify your product, and it is easy for the seller to push your products or promote your products. Next one, capable of being registered. It should be capable of being. That means there should not be any hurdle to register your brand name. There should not be any problem to, because it should not be imitative one. Most of the times when you give the name for the product, that is patent rights, isn't it? The authority is there. They will object for that. They will come out with the reason that this product, this name is already existing, or it imitates the other name. So for that reason, you should your whatever name you are keeping for as your brand, that should be capable of being registered. There should not be any hurdle for the registration of your brand. Then chosen name should have staying power. The chosen name should have staying power. Take the case of washing powder Nirma. It stayed in the market for a longer period of time, maybe more than 15 to 20 years, doesn't it? So, your brand name should have staying power in the market. The small girl with the small frock, isn't it? You might have seen. And there was that song, Washing Powder Nirma, and it was very popular and it lasted from starting to end. Maybe for 20 years, the same song they were giving on in their advertisement. And it was such appealing, and it is very good for people who listen to it, doesn't it? So that is staying power. It should have staying power. Then, now let us move on to the next part, that is packaging. Next concept is packaging. I gave the meaning of packaging in my previous class. What is packaging? So there is a difference between package and packaging. I already made it very clear when I explained the functions of marketing. Do you remember this? But still, let us make a distinction between packing and packaging. What is packaging? Packaging is designing and developing a wrapper for the product. Very simple. Designing and developing a wrapper for the product. Best example, that is milk packets in which you are filling the company fills the milk. Sri Krishna, isn't it? Or maybe Nandini, isn't it? All these are these different brand names, isn't it? Which is printed on the package. You cannot separate the package from the product till the customer uses it. When the customer is about to use, then only he will open the package. Till then, it will remain as a part and parcel of the product itself, because you cannot sell milk by opening it in the market, isn't it? The customer will buy, they will take it to home, maybe they will preserve it for 1 or 2 days in the refrigerator, or they will open it and they will consume there itself. So, designing and developing a wrapper for the product, for the protection of the product, or for easy carrying and transportation is nothing but packaging. Is called packaging. What is packing then? Packing means simply filling in the crates or in boxes, corrugated boxes, isn't it? Cartons, what we call. Like oil packets, they will be filled in, that is cartons, or milk packets, they are filled in crates. And it is just for easy handling and transportation, it is done. That is called packing. When a customer purchases from a grocery shop rice and all these things, and when he asks for a carry bag to fill all those items which were purchased, that is simply packing. That is packing. The seller, he selects all the products whatever is demanded by the customer, and he fills those, that is items purchased in a carry bag or any, that is anything that is or carrying, that is material, then it is called packing. When the items filled like a salt, iodized salt, it is in packet. Can you open and sell it to customer? No, isn't it? Because customer wants it in the sealed packet. Or biscuit packets, can you open and sell it? No, isn't it? So those packages which are there with the product, along with the product, they are called that is packaging. Packaging means designing and developing a wrapper for the product for easy convenience, for the protection of the product, isn't it? from pilferage, moisture, or whatever the name you call, and the package remains with the product till the customer opens it. Sometimes the package remains with the product till the product is used completely, like toothpaste, isn't it? There will be cartoon outside which is called packing, and the tube itself in which the toothpaste is filled, that remains with the customer till the last pinch of toothpaste is used. Till then it will be there. Or any cream for that matter, beauty care creams, isn't it? These girls know it better than we people. How many types of creams are available in the market? There's a beauty care cream. And nowadays for boys also it is there, isn't it? Boys also they use Fair and Handsome, isn't it? I don't know, I never used. I don't think that this guy knows everything, so he has used. Don't think in that way. So coming to the point here, so packing remains sometimes, the package remains with the customer till the last quantity of the product is used by the customer. So let us move on to the levels of packing. Levels of packing. There are three levels of packing. First one is primary package or primary packing. Primary package. Third one is transportation packing or transportation package. Transportation packaging. Primary package, very simple, which remains in close with the product. That is, immediately after the product, this wrapper will be there. Take the case of biscuits, maybe Parle-G, glucose, or any biscuit for that matter you call. There will be a package. Without opening that package, the seller has to sell that package. That product should be sold along with the package itself. It cannot be separated, isn't it? Like sugar, you will sell 1 kg of sugar, 10 kg of sugar, you will open that gunny bag and then you will sell in loose quantity. Possible. Jaggery, again, you will open the gunny bag and then you will sell. Or your tur dal, isn't it? That also, you will open the gunny bag and you will sell 1 kg, half kg, quarter kg, whatever the demand from the customer is. But can you sell the biscuits? No, you cannot. Or any other product, some products are there, without opening the cover itself, you have to sell the product. If you sell the product without opening the cover, then it is safe. Otherwise, if you open it, it is gone. You cannot sell because customers will reject it. Customers will reject it, isn't it? So that is what the package is. Yes. Then primary package, I will give you example, toothpaste tubes or medicinal tube, there is a medicinal cream tubes, isn't it? That cannot be removed and that should be kept with the customer till the last quantity is used. Okay. Toothpaste, whether you after opening that is a wrapper or cartoon, whether you will throw it out by using once? No. And there is a secrecy, friends. Toothpaste mostly, also just general knowledge, larger the quantity, bigger will be the tube, bigger will be the nozzle. Do you know that? If you purchase 200 gram toothpaste or if you purchase 50 gram toothpaste, almost during the same time it will be consumed. Like if 200 gram that's a toothpaste tube, it lasts for 15 days, then 50 gram tube, it may last for 12 days. Not much difference, but there is a difference in the quantity 4 times it is, isn't it? But it is not like that here because the nozzle of that's a tube is bigger in case of huge quantity. If you order for 200 gram package, then the nozzle will be bigger, and if you purchase 50 gram tube, then the nozzle will be smaller, isn't it? The paste comes out will be, it will not be much thick. In case of 200 grams, it will be thicker, isn't it? So the quantity of paste will come out more. So that is the difference, the general knowledge is. So let me come to the point here. Primary package is the package which remains with the product till the customer opens it, in case of biscuits, isn't it? Or sometimes it remains with the product till the product is completely consumed. So that is the difference between the primary package and secondary package. Let me come to the secondary package. It is the package which cartoon of the toothpaste tube, isn't it? That is secondary package for the protection of the goods. It is just for the protection of the goods, or it is for the protection of the product, to stack the product, to promote the product. When it is tagged in a systematic way in retailer shop, the customer will get attracted towards the product and he will make a purchase deal, isn't it? So that is secondary package. It will be designed in such a way that brand name, MRP, everything will be there on that package, and it will be thrown by the customer when he starts to use. When a toothpaste tube is purchased, what the customer will do, when it is opened, the cartoon will be thrown and the tube will be kept inside. So when the cartoon is thrown, that cartoon itself is the secondary package. It is for easy transportation, easy material handling, for easy promotion, for all this purpose, and for easy in recognizing the brand by the customer. For all this purpose, secondary package is used. Now, moving on to transportation package. Third one, transportation package. Transportation package, most of the times you might have heard when you are shifting your house from one place to another place. You are about to travel for a longer distant place, maybe 100 kilometer or 200 kilometer, where you want to shift your material luggage. Maybe refrigerator, washing machine, television, LED, isn't it? All these you want to shift. Then what happens? You will do the package. That is packaging of the product. Packing of the product. That is called transportation packing. Here, what happens is that the customer will order for packing. There are experts who do the transportation packing, isn't it? They will use these wooden sticks and all those things, or wooden plates, isn't it? That will be kept as protection on all four sides. Wherever the product, even if there is a bit jerking and all those things during transportation, product will not get damaged. These packages are used for protection of the product from the transportation, that is problems, or maybe jerking, jumping and all these things during transportation. The product may get damaged. To protect it from such, that is a disturbance, this package is used. So that is called transportation packing. With this, your levels of packing comes to an end. Now let us move on to the importance of packaging. What are the importance? Why that is packaging is required? Importance of packaging. Yes, first one is rising standards of health and sanitation. Raising health and sanitation awareness, isn't it? Health and sanitation standards. Of course, people need hygienic food nowadays. In case of agriculture products, egg mark will be there, some sort of marking will be there, ISI, isn't it? All these are the orders of the day, and branded products are demanded in the market. So here the customers, they prefer the branded goods plus properly packaged products. If something is sold in loose quantity, people will not buy, because they will hesitate. Even nowadays, it is the awareness is more. Gift of the COVID-19, isn't it? People stopped buying from, that is, open outlets, open when the products are displayed in open condition. All these are not demanded nowadays. Eating that is on the streets, open food is prepared, no hygienic that is conditions are maintained. Such food is not demanded nowadays. It is more now. Awareness has increased to such an extent that people are not ready to buy anything from outside. So that is the condition. Then definitely people will ask for properly packed food. If you put your hand and if you give like this, isn't it? In olden days, in this maybe most of the functions, people used to use their hands, bare hands. From that they used to serve without using a spoon or something like that, isn't it? Nowadays, if someone observes this, definitely they will not eat the food, because they are health aware, hygiene aware, isn't it? So we should make sure that product should be properly packaged. When the product is properly packed, then the customers will buy. They will there will be a positive mindset among the customers that food is hygienic, one is clean, isn't it? Second one, outlets, self-service outlets. Self-service outlets, like we call it as especially supermarkets. When you enter a mall, do you think for each and every product to sell there will be a salesman? No. Some chalk pieces are kept. Okay, one person is standing over there, salesman. For another duster, one person is there. Not like that, friends. For the entire bay, one person will be there, or maybe 2 or 3 bays, one person will be there, having that is wearing that is a uniform of the that is a mall, and having an identity card. So when you call for help, then he will come, otherwise he will not come. He or she will not come. They will not disturb you, because trolleys will be there. You just pull one trolley, whatever your selection, put it in the trolley and take it to the billing counter. There it will be billed and you have to make payment. And most of the products, they are self-explanatory. By seeing the package itself, you will come to know how much is the price for that, how much is the discount offered by the there is a seller. So in case of such outlets, self-service stores rather, or self-service outlets, packaging is very, very important, because everything will be there on the package. You need not appoint a salesman for that. The package itself will become like a silent salesman. Just by seeing the product package, the customer will come to know that this is of this quality, this was manufactured on this date, the expiry date will be this, the MRP will be this, all this, everything will be known by the customer without the help of a salesman. So packaging is very, very important in case of self-service outlets. Third one, innovational opportunity. Innovational opportunity. Innovational opportunity. That is, there is opportunity for innovation. Different types of packages will be developed, isn't it? Different shape, different color, different design, different marks. Everything will be printed on the product, that's the package itself, so that there will be innovation. So this is the order. You should do change. Every time you need a change. You I'm sorry, even the customer needs change. Every day he wants to see something new. You give the same food, whatever you ate yesterday, again tomorrow also again you will get the same food, same type of food. You will feel bored after maybe 3 or 4 days. You'll ask your mom, isn't it? Why same thing every day? I want change. I don't want this. I will eat in the canteen. I will go to hotel. Isn't it? You'll order. Then mom, without having any option, will change the food on the very next day. Like the customers, they have the mindset that we need change. We want to use improved product, a standard product. Isn't it? You are giving the same product in a different package, friends. Product you are offering is the same, but the package is different. Then what happens? By seeing the package, change in the package, color, something printed, there's a printed material is changed, customer gets attracted. You will have more customers. Just right. Instead of earlier, the price of the that is maybe washing powder, isn't it, is 100. Now what you will do? You will write here 120. You will develop a different package now, 120, and you will strike it out, and you will write here 105. You will see the customers will buy. You will have more customers because there is a discount of 15 rupees, isn't it? 15 rupees reduced, so it is cheaper. They forget that earlier they were buying at 100. Just because the manufacturer has used a trick to attract you, he has increased the price to 120 and crossed it, isn't it? Striked it out and wrote 105. You will think that earlier it was 120 and the manufacturer is very kind enough. He gave us 15 rupees discount. Now it is just 105. But actually you are being cheated, friends. You are being cheated. Instead of paying 100, now you are paying 105. 5 rupees more you are paying. But you will have the psychological mindset that the seller has reduced the price 15 rupees off. It is not for the product, off is for the people, we people who go and buy that product, isn't it? Here 5% off actually for the customers, not for the product. Here it is increase, they increase the price. So remember this, all these things, these tricky things. So here my point is innovation opportunities. So here innovation can be done if proper package is developed. Next one is product differentiation. Product differentiation. Differentiation. When package is developed by each company in their own style, there will be chance for the customer to compare and identify their preferable brand. When brand is properly printed on the product package, then you can easily identify your product from the rival's product. Even the seller can make a clear distinction of his product from the rivals. A retailer, while tagging, he will tag the product of one company together. While setting the soaps on the rake, isn't it? What they will do? They will arrange Lifebuoy together, Hammam soap together, Le Sansi together, isn't it? Like that, Medimix together, like that. They will arrange in such a way that the customer will come to know about the product that is preferred by them. they can easily identify the product. So this is called product differentiation. It is just because of the change in the color, size and all these things of the package developed by the manufacturer. Product differentiation is very easy. These are the various, that is the importance of packing. Moving on to next part, that is functions of packaging. Functions of packaging. Let us analyze one by one. Functions of packaging. First one is product identification. Product identification. You can easily identify the product. I already told you, when you go to a retailer's shop, you will have the predetermined mindset that my package is like this, it has this color, isn't it? Lux soap has pink color, or maybe that is Medimix has green color, like that. We will have our own notion, mindset is there. When we reach over there, only our product gets attracted towards us. We will not see other products. Or sometimes the retailer, he may persuade you, see, the new soap has come to the market, very cheap and quantity is more. See friends, sometimes the manufacturer will teach you a lesson, like 150 gram soap. Nowadays mostly 125 or 100 gram soaps are there, isn't it? What they will do is, for 125 gram soap, earlier it was 50 rupees. Now what they will do? They will reduce it to 75 gram. 75 gram. For 125 gram, they were charging 50 rupees. For 75 gram, isn't it? Now they are charging 45 rupees. You will feel like, and they will write here like 50. They will strike it out and they will write 45. You will think that 5 rupees reduced. Last time I bought at 50 rupees. Now it is just 45. 5 rupees reduction is made. But actually, did you see the quantity? No. Earlier it was 125 gram soap. Now it is 75 gram soap. The package is prepared in such a way that it resembles your old type soap, 125 gram soap. Who is being cheated now? The customer, not the seller. Seller is at profit, isn't it? He is charging 45 rupees now for 75 gram soap. So this is the game of pricing, different games of pricing by the manufacturer. So here my point is, product identification is possible only when the package is developed very clearly and people will have preference for a particular colored package, isn't it? So that is one of the functions done by the packaging. Second one is product protection. Product protection. I will give you an example. Open the biscuit packet and keep it for 24 hours. Do you see the condition of the biscuits on the next day? Instead of crispy, it will become like a cloth. Have you observed? Because it will absorb the moisture. So for that reason, the package is developed for the protection of the product, isn't it? Some items, like if you keep it open, then evaporates, like petrol. If you keep it open, it gets evaporated. Don't put the lid, isn't it, to the can and keep it open for 10 days. One day, one fine morning, you will see the tin empty without petrol, isn't it? So packaging is there for protection of the product. It will protect from leakage, pilferage, moisture, humidity, everything. So it will remain in the original condition, it will be intact if proper package is used. Why oil is that is packed in a particular tin, or maybe that is plastic pouch, isn't it? Small pouch. Shampoo is packed in bottles, plastic bottles, isn't it? But you never see that is some products in plastic pouch, isn't it? You will see it in which form? Glass bottles. Glass bottles. It cannot be stored in plastic because it may deteriorate the plastic itself, the package itself, the product may deteriorate the package itself, isn't it? Or the product quality may get deteriorated. So for that reason, some particular package will be used. It is for product protection. Product protection. Next one is facilitating use of the product. Facilitating use of the product. Use of the product. Let me give best example. Toothpaste, if it is filled in a jar, can you remove it by using spoon like ice cream? No, right? If it is filled in cup and supplied, not possible. So it has been filled in tube so that the customer can squeeze the tube and can remove the required quantity, so that, and again he will put the lid and will keep it intact. So that is for the use of the product, facilitating use of the product. You can easily use the product by having such a type of package developed. If such types of package, that is a tube, is not developed, then you should fill it in a bottle. Not possible to remove outside. You have to break the bottle, isn't it? Or you have to fill in cup. You have to eat. That is a use like you are removing ice cream, isn't it? In that way, you have to use that toothpaste. So there is no sense, friends. So for that reason, packaging is required for use of product. That is facilitate use of the product. Next one is product promotion. Of course, product promotion. Promotion means like an advertising. By seeing the product itself, you will come to know what is the quantity inside, what is the quality, then price, date of manufacture, date of expiry. All these things you will come to know by seeing the product itself. And again, when it is tagged in a systematic way, like a showroom display, window display is done, the passerby in busy streets, they will see the product behind window glasses and they get attracted. They will enter the shop and they will make a deal. They will conclude a deal, isn't it? So product promotion is also possible by using different colored packages, different types of packages. It helps the customer to identify easily and to buy the product. And for seller, it is he can use it as a promotional tool, because the package itself will act as a silent salesman. It will give a lot of information to the customer. No salesman will be there, but without having a person there, by seeing the package, the customer can read out a number of things. He will come to know a number of information, lot of information. So that is the function of packaging, that is product promotion. Now moving on to the next one, labeling. With this, product, that is packaging, comes to an end. What is labeling? So what is a label? Yes, label is a small tag or a piece of, that is a token, that is attached to the product itself or on the package itself. either on the product itself or on the package regarding the information about the product. You might have seen on the most nowadays, it is a common thing of fruits, apple especially, isn't it? You can see a sticker like imported or something like that, or pure, fresh, all these things. Some round sticker will be affixed on each and every apple. And where they affix it, do you know that? Most of the shopkeepers, where they affix that label, where it has become rotten. A small, that is a dot is there or something is there, deteriorated. There it is. On that spot itself, they will apply the label, so that the customer will see a fresh apple. When you open it, when you remove the label and when you cut it, a part will be deteriorated, isn't it? Such things are also there. I am not telling all the sellers. Some of the sellers are there. If you observe, you will come to know regarding this. Stand somewhere, friends, near the shop. You just observe, stand and observe. Don't speak anything. You will learn a lot of things. How the customers behave, how do the customers speak, how the seller reads their mind, how the seller reacts for that, how the seller presses for, that is do aggressive selling. All these things you can observe just by standing nearby a shop. You don't do anything, don't ask any questions to anyone. Simply stand and observe. Isn't it? You will learn a lot of things regarding marketing. Moving on to the labeling. A label is a sticker or a small tag attached to the product itself or on the package, I already told you, which contains a lot of information about the product. It assures the quality of the product or information regarding the discount and all these things, or any other things that is which gives some information to the customer is called a label. And designing and developing a label and affixing it on the product itself or on the package is called labeling. So, label and labeling are different. Label is a tag or slip or anything that is affixed to the product or on the package. Labeling is the art of designing and developing a label for the product, then applying it on the product, affixing it on the product or on the package is called labeling. This is an art of that is affixing the label for the product. So, that is called labeling. Moving on to functions performed by the labeling. What are the different functions performed by the labeling? First one, describe the product and specify its contents. Label describes the product and specifies what is there inside, isn't it? Specifies the contents inside the product. So, what are the items are there inside the product? There is a package. How many quantities are there, or how much quantity is there, and what is the quality of the product? Everything will be described by the label. Then second one is identification of the product or brand. Identification of the product or brand. You can easily identify the product, and you will come to know about the brand also. So, when label is attached, the customer will have a preconceived mind. They will see the advertisement maybe in television, and they will have a set of mind that my product is like this, it has this color, this label will be affixed on that. They will go and identify their product easily. Then even the seller need not have to search for the product, isn't it? It will get attracted. If the seller gets confused, sometimes customer will say, see, it is there, backside, up, isn't it? Then immediately the seller will pick the same product and will hand over the product to the customer. So, label helps in identification of the product and the brand of the product. Third one is grading of products. You can segregate by seeing the label itself. You can segregate the products into different qualities, because on the label it will be printed first quality, second quality, like that, so that you can easily identify and you can segregate them into different qualities, that is qualities, so that you can hand over the proper product to the customer as per his demand. Helps in promotion of products. Of course, promotion, one of the tools of promotion, label acts as a promotional tool. When you affix a label for the product, the customer, after seeing the label, he will conclude whether to buy or not. And when the label is properly designed, which will give more information to the customer, customer may conclude a deal. So this is one of the, that is a promotional tactics used by the seller. Last one is providing information required by law. Information according to law. Let me give best example, friends. That good car, isn't it? Once upon a time, that is chewing of pan masala may be injurious to health. The manufacturer was supposed to display this, like smoking cigarette is injurious to health. Now, on pan masala, they have to print 75% of the package should contain ill effects of the pan masala. That is cancer and all these things, that photograph and everything should be printed. It is mandatory. It is by the law. Law has made it compulsory to print 75% of the label with ill effects of that product and 25% your advertisement. Isn't it? Why it is made? Because the information should be given to the customers. Don't eat it. You may suffer from cancer, like that. The customer should get the information. Even after seeing that, if the customer is ready to accept the cancer, fine, let him face. That is what the law says. Isn't it? No, it is made as chewing of pan masala is injurious to health, not maybe injurious to health. It is proved that it is injurious to health, so it is given like that. Tobacco products, especially tobacco products, all the tobacco products should have that cancer disease picture, cancer affected part of body should be printed, isn't it? It is there, 75% and 25% other information of the manufacturer. So like that, it is information according to law, it should be given. With this, your packaging comes to an end. We'll move on to the second element of marketing mix, that is pricing, in the next class. Take down assignment. Mention 3 levels of packing. Mention 3 levels of packaging. Mention 3 levels of packaging. Submit assignment on time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.